Maggie, I like how you picked only one particular thing to actually have as what you decided to focus on in their electronic health record, and that they would need training. And again, when we get to that one particular thing, training will be very beneficial. I think what we need to remember is that this is a very small independent office. We have a doctor, a nurse manager, an LPN, two medical assistants, and an office manager. So people, I think, are going to need to be a little bit cross-trained. I worked in a small clinic for a long time, and my job basically was a secretary is what I was hired for, but I got paid better because of my having an LPN, so I could do multiple tasks in a small office. But I worked in a small office that was part of a very, very, very big organization, so that makes a difference. So I think what we'll need for Josh needs to do when we get to that point is to get to that point. And I think the total quality management that looks at enabling groups of people to work together through processes and looking at tools will be a cool thing for them to be doing. So maybe at the end of each day, looking at that daily process, but having maybe a time where they have to take a week and set out what is their plan, what is their goal of the clinic. And I, like you said, the appreciative inquiry, asking those questions will help them get there. I took 2 years ago, I was in the area health education courses and worked where they worked to train doctors and pharmacists and everything to get them wanting to work with small communities like this one is in Virginia. And I think one of the things, as I mentioned in mine, is they're going to appreciate in what they have. They need to look at and say, okay, what we have, we can do well, but what can we do to make up for what we don't have? And that will help us meet our mission. And as I mentioned in mine, I really do think working with, not with other groups, not just the billing group like he's doing for billing, but expanding on that. They've got something that they do well there, expanding on that. Maybe for the electronic health record, that's what they need to do, is expand. There's a hospital that's, I believe they said 20 miles away. Maybe for the electronic health record, they can be independent and yet work with that hospital. Another thinking out of the box thing is I've seen a lot of independent clinics work off of grants and foundations money, and maybe they would to do the organizational development and get a grant to have someone from the outside, because they're such a small group, they're all probably so invested, those who have stayed, they can't see the forest for the trees. Get a grant where they have that grant pays for that person, and also a grant looks at what is it that they need to do to meet their mission, to meet their strategic plan, to serve the community, to get to the point where they can give those benefits, because Josh can't keep going without a third of his salary and no benefits. One doctor may want to stay for a while, and I've seen lots of things in the 50s or YouTubes where independent clinics because of noble causes, but that runs then for a very long time. So I think they do need to work on the total quality management and thinking out of the box to get that. And that kind of goes along with work redesign. Like I said, they've got that billing. What can they do? A co-op petition for the electronic health record, or from other needs that they find that what they're doing well, if they have the tools for that, or if that's even a tool that they're really going to need to have. Do they maybe not need to have all the bells and whistles with the electronic health record, as he wanted, this people to be able to come in and check in themselves and stuff. But maybe this is not a community that if they're in the 89th of 100 and 32, to be able to do that. Maybe that's not going to be a priority. looking at where the rank is, and I looked it up on county health records, there's quite a few things that they need to work on, and they want to work on that primary care. I don't think they need to work on training all the people to work with electronic healthcare record. They need to work on what they're good at, and that's that primary care for their community, and they need to find innovative ways to do that.